On the night of March 31st, 2006, a 27-year-old medical student walked into a bar in Columbus, Ohio. Security cameras captured him entering. He was smiling, relaxed, talking with friends. Hours later, the bar closed. Dozens of people exited the building. But the cameras never recorded him leaving. He went in, and he never came out. This is the disappearance of Brian Shaffer. Brian Shaffer was not someone who lived on the edge. He was a second-year medical student at Ohio State University. Intelligent, social, ambitious. Friends described him as charismatic and witty, the kind of person who could walk into a room and instantly connect with people. But early 2006 had been difficult. Just weeks before his disappearance, Brian's mother had died after battling cancer. The loss hit him hard. Those close to him said he was grieving deeply, though he tried to stay strong in front of others. On March 31st, Brian had dinner with his father. It was an ordinary evening. There was no argument, no dramatic goodbye. Later that night, Brian met his friend Clint Florence. They headed to a popular bar in the Arena district of Columbus called Ugly Tuna Saloona. It was Friday night, spring break. The place was packed. No one there could have imagined that this would be the last confirmed sighting of Brian Shaffer. Around 1:15 a.m., security cameras recorded Brian entering the bar. The entrance was covered by surveillance. The escalator area outside was also recorded. Inside, witnesses later said he appeared normal. He wasn't heavily intoxicated. He wasn't in a fight. He wasn't acting paranoid or distressed. At approximately 1:55 a.m., cameras captured Brian briefly stepping outside the bar to talk with two women near the escalator. Moments later, he re-entered the bar. This is the last confirmed footage of him alive. The bar closed around 2 a.m. Police later reviewed hours of surveillance footage. They saw dozens of patrons leaving. They saw staff exiting. But they did not see Brian Shaffer leave through the main entrance. And that is where the mystery begins.
When Brian failed to show up for a planned flight to Miami the next morning with his girlfriend, alarm bells began to ring. He never missed commitments. His phone went straight to voicemail. Police began investigating. They carefully analyzed the security footage from Ugly Tuna Saloona. The layout of the building was complicated. The bar was located on the second floor of a commercial complex. There was one main public entrance and exit, the one covered by cameras. There was also a service exit that led into a construction area. Detectives examined the possibility that Brian left through that service exit. But extensive searches of the construction site revealed nothing. No signs of a fall, no blood, no body. If he left through the main entrance, he should have appeared on camera. If he left through the service area, there should have been evidence. There was none.
One of the strangest elements of the case involves Brian's cell phone. For several days after his disappearance, the phone rang. It even pinged cell towers briefly. Then it went silent. His bank accounts were untouched, no credit card activity, no passport use. There were no confirmed sightings. It was as if he vanished into thin air.
Over the years, several theories have emerged. Theory 1. He slipped past the cameras. Some investigators believe Brian simply exited in a blind spot. Surveillance systems in 2006 were not flawless. Camera angles could be obstructed. Crowds could block visibility. It's possible he left undetected. But if that's true, what happened next? Why has no physical evidence ever surfaced? Could something have happened inside the bar? Police investigated staff and patrons. No evidence of violence was found. No reports of a fight. No suspicious blood traces. If foul play occurred, it left no detectable trace. Theory 3. An accident. The construction area theory remains haunting. Could he have fallen somewhere inaccessible? Search teams scoured the area multiple times. Nothing. Theory 4. Voluntary disappearance. Some point to Brian's emotional state. He had recently lost his mother. Friends mentioned that he sometimes spoke about wanting a different life. Could he have walked away? But this theory raises serious questions. He left behind his car, his money. His phone eventually went dead. He had a committed relationship. He was in medical school. Starting over requires preparation. There was none. The case took another tragic turn in 2008 when Brian's father died in an accident. Brian's girlfriend held on to hope for years. The case remains open. No arrests, no confirmed sightings, no closure. The security footage still exists. A young man entering a bar, laughing, alive. And then, nothing. There are disappearances that make sense once the evidence is uncovered. And then there are cases like this. A controlled environment, cameras, crowds, a confined space, and yet a person vanishes. Not in the wilderness, not in the ocean, but in a busy downtown bar. Brian Shaffer walked into Ugly Tuna Saloon on March 31st, 2006. And according to every confirmed piece of evidence, he never walked out.